Hello, everybody, and happy Wednesday. This is the first day we are coming back to you since last Friday for our Cryptos and Cocktails edition. And as you know, as the whole world knows, a lot has happened since then. The tensions with Iran have escalated and attacks have started in the Middle East, and it is a dicey situation and just a lot is going on. So first and foremost, I hope everybody is okay and everybody's safe out there. Our thoughts and prayers to the people affected by this. I have a lot of friends in Dubai living there saying that Dubai is handling it quite well, but it's still scary, right? It's a scary time. We don't know what's going to happen. And this uncertainty makes everybody not only fearful of what's going to happen with their physical safety, which is something that is absolutely crazy that we still have to deal with in this day and age, but also wondering what's going to happen to the market. So we're going to go over that news, just exactly who's been impacted and our thoughts on what is going to happen next, right? Based on historical analysis, based on all of the news that keeps coming out, and just sort of our summary. Basically, so if you haven't been caught up on everything, the attacks started in the UAE over the weekend, and they escalated quickly. A lot of people, now those were attacks from Iran toward the UAE and Israel and the US against Iran. And so it's a big sort of thing. And also France and Germany have most recently gotten involved. Spain did not get involved, and Trump is very upset about that. So there's a lot to update you, a lot of geopolitical things going on. And we just hope everybody is safe and sound. And we are going to give you our analysis of this because it's absolutely essential, right? Like, we are getting to the boiling point. Remember, we went over on this show not too long ago that we were in sort of a triangle, a symmetrical, a pendant, right? And that we are 50% through that pendant, and we're about to, 75% is the breakout level. So will we break down or will we break up? We're watching that as we speak. We'll go over that today with Rob. We'll do some macro Bitcoin analysis, but there is one thing we're going to do different on the show today, and that is when we get to our setups, we're going to give you one setup here on the live, and then we're going to jump into the group and do the live inside the group. So while you're watching this, if you want to know all of those setups, we have some banging killer setups to give you right now because things are really coiling up. You don't want to miss those. So you can join the group. It's still free, but as of March 1st, we're starting to monitor volume on our links to make sure that you're trading on BYDFI, and that's how you stay in the group for free. So that goes for members as well. So you still can get in for free, but we're going to see at the end of the month the volume on the link, whether you can stay for free or you have to start paying for the group. So everybody join the group. The link's in the description below. I'm going to go over how to use the bot for those of you who are a little bit confused after I do the news now. But as a free group, you get $100 bonus for any deposit any deposit. You just deposit that, transfer to your futures account, and you will get your bonus. And if you don't get it, you can DM myself or Rob, and our usernames are all over the group because we are the main admins in the group, right? So it's a really good time to get in because now we are going to start doing the juiciest part of the live inside the group for members only. So you got to be a part of the hive, guys. Join the hive. That being said, let's just go over a few things that have been happening here. And welcome to the show. Hello from rainy, dreary, north central Pennsylvania. Yeah, I got word from Rob, who's in Pittsburgh, that it was rainy and dreary. And it's also rainy and dreary in Spain. I think the whole world is rainy and dreary right now, to be honest. So everybody's sort of unsettled. Like, what is actually happening? And Rob and I went over an interesting fact that a lot what we could be seeing here. Now we're going to give you different theories, and then we're going to go in the charts and look at what the charts say. What could be happening, or what could have been happening with the stock market, is that it was already priced in that the de-escalation would come quickly. If you think about it, all of the things that have been happening in the geopolitical sphere, Trump has been threatening tariffs and counter tariffs and lots of things, and it has been resolved fairly quickly, right? We've seen them as negotiation tools up until now. So up until now has been the first time where we actually saw action, attacks, missiles, scary stuff, right? So now it's like, okay, if you look on Polymarket, there's like a 40% chance, I think, they're voting that this won't be done by June 30th, or that it'll take until June 30th to resolve. So now, as things are escalating quickly, it looks like this isn't going to be resolved as quickly as people first thought. So that could have some sort of impact on the market. Also, Trump came out and said to Iran, get ready for the next big wave. And we got some very scary notifications from the US. We're putting them all in the news as we go, saying that, everybody needs to evacuate because the next big wave is coming. So, we've got to stay vigilant because there are a lot of geopolitical tensions still happening, and it does seem to be escalating. Now, Iran is sending missiles to Cyprus, right? So the UK has a fleet headed to Cyprus. It is a mess, guys. It is a mess on a big scale. So this evacuation notice came out earlier today. It says security updates for Americans in the Middle East. Okay, Bahrain, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Israel, the West Bank, Gaza, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, UAE, and Yemen. A lot of countries. It says get out now, basically. Depart now via commercial means due to serious safety risks. So yeah, there's a lot going on here that we need to evaluate. Gas has gone up. One of the biggest pieces of news that could affect the markets in an adverse way, or that it will, most definitely, it's already affecting Europe, is that Iran officially closed the Strait of Hormuz, or Hormuz, however you say it, and warns any ship passing through that they will set fire onto it. So roughly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this waterway, guys. Think about it. That obstruction alone is going to cause chaos to the markets. It already has in Europe. Our energy has gone up 50% in price, okay, especially in Spain. So there's a lot happening. And now we have tensions between President Trump and the Spanish president, because he did not want to let the fighter jets and ships from Rota and Cadiz, a big American military base here, set off. So he basically suspended them from flying, and there's a whole now huge tension with Trump. And things are looking kind of crazy. So we also saw a record outflow. Crypto outflow spiked 700% on the largest Iranian exchange following the U.S.-Israeli attack on Saturday. So a huge outflow of Bitcoin from the biggest Israeli exchange, and people are cold storage. They're self-custodying this Bitcoin, and Iran's currency has gone way down. I mean, I think near zero, right? And it's just getting debased and more debased, right, as this tension increases. So we've had all the news in real time in our group, and it's kind of crazy stuff, and it doesn't look like it's about to slow down. In fact, we do have that next threatened big wave coming, according to Trump. So the biggest thing right now is the Strait of Hormuz. So the latest is that Trump does not want to let that happen, and he came out and said that he orders the U.S. Navy to escort oil tankers through the Strait of Hormuz if necessary to ensure the free flow of energy, which is kind of scary, right? You don't want to be on those oil tankers. They're massive targets, and there just seem to be no limits and no bounds. And that's kind of the scary thing about what's happening in the world right now. Just for a few silver linings, okay, just to take away a little bit from the heaviness, Iranians are buying Bitcoin and mass withdrawing. So that means that this could be their flight to safety, right? What crypto is essentially made for. But we will look in the charts to confirm all this. Michael Saylor is buying Bitcoin big right now, guys. He is doubling down on his buys. So that's something to note. And CZ says that the American dream in the not so distant future is going to just be to own 0.1 Bitcoin. And that if you own that, you will be a part of the American dream. So just remember to zoom out and just sort of stay calm and collected during these times. And, to those who are affected, obviously that's easier said than done. But yeah, let's see how this pans out. And also, we've got another statistic about gold. And this is one statistic I found very interesting, in that gold and silver lost $2.5 trillion in market value in just 4 hours today. That's more than the entire crypto market cap. So gold and silver together lost more than the crypto. Like, that's mind blowing. Like, just the whole crypto market cap obliterated. But what happened? Bitcoin pumped a little bit, right? So 1 trillion has been wiped out from gold and silver, while 800 billion has been added to crypto in the US equity. So is this sort of a rotation that's happening now? And why? Because isn't gold the flight to safety asset, or is it Bitcoin now? Or is that none of the narrative? And now the chart's already showing in the gold versus Bitcoin narrative that this is what's set to be happening, right? So that's all the things that we're weighing out right now. And the most important news on the macro scale, of course, a lot more has happened than that. Tensions everywhere. But the main things are blockage of oil, right? What will that do to the broader economy and the energy, right? Tensions between Spain and the US. And then you have France and Germany willing to back Spain as well as the UK. Willing to back the US and Israel in this attack against Iran. Okay, so this is where we are. Now, the question is, will this escalate further? The answer is most undoubtedly yes. I mean, they wouldn't issue that evacuation order if it weren't going to. But how bad does this get? Is this resolved quickly after that, or does this take time? Now, nobody wants war. Nobody wants conflict. So for, the hope of the world, we don't want this to go on. But we are going to look at the charts to see maybe what's happened previously and what could happen now. And remember, that whole full analysis is not going to be on YouTube today. We're going to jump in our private group and do it. So as I'm talking, you're going to want to sign up to the link. Okay. If you're listening on X, I just posted the link in the description, in the comments. And if you're listening on YouTube, that's in the description. So you'll be taken to the Hive verification bot. In fact, I'm going to go over it right now for all of you who are tuning in just very quickly, so you don't have any issues, because I want you to be able to be in there with us, as we're getting ready to stream the rest of the show in there. So we're trying out this new format, and we're going to see how it works. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you guys how that works. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the Hive verification bot. So I think you can see my screen now. Let me take this away. Sorry. Okay. So this is the Hive verification bot right here. And this is what you'll see. So you get into the Hive Verify in that link, and you can click start right up here on the right-hand corner. So then you'll see it gets started. And these are the steps you have to do. So you have to register a BYDFI account with this link only, send your BYDFI UID below, and receive your private link to the trading group once verified. So it may take up to 5 minutes, guys. So don't worry if you don't get in right away. And also claim your $100 free $100 bonus for any deposit. Just transfer your deposit to your futures account. Okay. So once you click start, then you go here and you'll sign up to BYDFI. If you already have a BYDFI user ID under our link, you can just copy and paste that UID. It's a set of numbers, and put it down below, right? But if you haven't, you'll sign up here. You don't have to copy and paste our affiliate link. That's already there. You just sign up and using your Gmail account, no KYC, and then you come back here and you want to go down to the bottom and click verify. And then it'll say, please enter your user ID, and you'll paste your user ID down here, whatever that may be, and you send it, and then it'll think for a minute, and then it'll let you be part of the group if you're under our link. Okay. So it's very, very simple. There's not a lot to it. And we want to see all of you guys in the next part of the live after we click through. So what's up, Jeannie? Welcome to the show. Our real ones are just absolute, like, hands down, always there. Like, shout out to you guys, man, because this is why you're crushing it. This is why Jeannie is having so much success, and also all the members who are tuning in every single day. And I love to see it. I love to see it. Hey, from the Hive, what's up? Guys, the Hive is the place to be right now. So I'm going to pull up Rob. How's it going, Rob?
Hey, pretty good. How you doing?
Good, good. It's been a very, very crazy weekend, to say the least.
Oh, yeah. It's, bombs falling everywhere, and it's just insane. You're sitting there waiting for like a reaction on the market, and you get like a little reaction, and it does nothing and stops. It's like, all right, market, what are you gonna do? This is big news. This usually creates some sort of move to a big move to the upside or downside. So do something, show us something. And it's just like, nope, we're not doing anything right now. We're just chilling inside of our consolidation.
Right. And that's what's happened. And so historically during war, I mean, we saw it when Russia moved into Ukraine, right? Now that was a much different war, at least it seems to be, and full scale, full on, invasion. But usually typically what happens in escalations of conflict like this is that we get a massive crash and then we get a pretty strong recovery. But we didn't witness that during this sort of escalation. We just witnessed the market go sideways. We even pumped a little bit, and sort of everybody's wondering what gives. So one theory that we discussed right now was that maybe the escalation of the conflict is not priced in, that people think this was going to be over and done really fast, in and out, and it was going to be done. So that's one theory. But what are you seeing on the charts? Does that line up with the theory? Like, what is your thoughts?
I mean, as of right now, since the market's doing nothing, I haven't had enough time yet to dig into like the bonds and everything like that. And from what I'm understanding right now, the bonds are kind of showing like, hey, we should be pulling back more in the stock market. But it seems like, yes, the stock market, at least by itself, is pricing in that it's going to be over quickly. So if that's priced in already, that's maybe how things are looking right now. It doesn't look like it's going to be over quickly from my eyes, but we don't know what the future holds, of course. So it's just being patient right now. And if it isn't over quickly, maybe it's going to start pricing in there's so much going on with this conflict right now to where it's just hard to make any final determination, in my opinion. So it's just like, I looked at the stock market just a few minutes ago. We gapped down again this morning and we came up and filled up the gap. So we keep on gapping down every morning and we keep on filling the gap.
Right.
The stock market lost a 50 weekly or 50 daily moving average. That's a pretty big deal, and we're holding underneath it. So, I mean, the stock market in itself was kind of overdue for some kind of correction or sell off anyway. I'm not sure if it's due for a bear market or not. I mean, bear market's a 20% drop, and it holds underneath 20% at least, and a sell off is about 10%. So maybe a 10% pullback, just a nice sell off, and that would be after. I mean, the stock market's been on fire, so a sell off wouldn't be like. A sell-off would be kind of a normal thing as of right now, and it's just using the war news to do that in a way, in my opinion. So just patience right now and see what's going on with that. And then Bitcoin, it's in the same consolidation pattern. It did break out the 4-hour, then it kind of faked out a few times, so he's zoomed out to the 1-day time frame, and it's made the same bear flag in the 1-day pattern.
Right.
So we
did discuss that as a possibility, that it flags and chops everybody out instead of just having a straight drop down, right?
Yep. So it's just waiting for that consolidation and that break. And they usually say when you're inside of a consolidation pattern like that, it's typically sometimes the hardest times to trade because it just chops you out.
Right. So if you've been getting stopped out, if you're frustrated, if you want to be more successful in your trades, it can be difficult during these times, but there are trades to get in and out of, and we are navigating it really well in the group, and people are absolutely crushing it. And the best thing is that we practice risk management. So you will have your few losses here and there, but the wins will more than make up for that, right? And so we do have some wins to show you from the group as we continue to crush it together. But yeah, so basically we're looking all eyes on Bitcoin. So everything to me macro-wise points to, there is more chaos to come, and that makes me more biased to having a downside drop. But we all know that we don't trade our bias and our opinion, right? We just trade what the chart gives us, and that's what gives us the edge, is that risk management. So I think the best thing to do, Rob, is to jump right in. And remember, guys, we're going to give you a little bit of juice here on the channel, some macro Bitcoin analysis, maybe one altcoin setup, and then we're jumping in the private group. So don't hesitate. Go sign up to the link in the description below. Okay. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and share this so more people can see the valuable information. So what do you say we dive right into it, Rob?
Yes. That's jumping into the charts. All right. So first we're going to look at Bitcoin. I'm looking at Bitcoin at the 1-day chart as of right now. Very important time frame that we're looking at right here. And I kind of just broke it down real solidly. We're about 26 days into this consolidation period. And what we're looking at is this from the beginning to end, about this apex of this triangle on the daily time frame that we're now printing is 56 days. So we're practically at right about 50% of the daily time frame as of right now. Now this blue line that you're seeing here, it's seeming to become a very important level here. Now this is the weekly EMA, not SMA, EMA 200. I never really used it much. So this is the weekly one. So I changed that there. And right now, it seems like we're dancing on it. We keep on getting rejected from it. We just broke it yesterday, and we're trying to retest it as of today, right now. So we're sitting there. I think we're sitting there see if we want to hold this level or not. And that level is at 68,305. So actually, right now we're at 68,221. So right now we are right underneath that EMA just by a hair. So it's, I think, a very, very, you could look at this right here. Get my drawing tool right here. You have right here, we bearishly retest it. Now we broke above it. Now we're trying to bullishly retest it. We tried holding it here. You see all the wicks that kept on trying to test it here. So we did close underneath it down in here. We just got bought right back up, came back down and closed above it and retested it. We kept on trying to hold it. So now he's been playing Dancing Queen on that level specifically. And I think for good reason why. That's a pretty high time frame EMA right there. That is very powerful, it seems like, as well, too. So it's just a very key level right now we're playing Dancing Queen on.
Right. I love that. Guys, like, if you like this kind of analysis, give us a like, because this is kind of cool that you get to see these different points of view and perspectives that you don't see on other channels, and new things that, you know, are being brought up every single live for the same sort of pattern, but they're different pieces of the puzzle to give us even more of an edge as to what could happen next, right? So I think that's really valuable information. And before we continue, shout out to you, Megan, for joining. I love that all the women are getting involved in trading, absolutely crushing it. And yeah, thank you for being here and a part of the hive. And, you know, wishing you could devote more time. I think everybody does, even Rob and myself, you know, because we've also got businesses and things. But the cool thing about this is it's just learn as you go, guys. It's we're coming out with the course probably within the next week now. We've had all the modules edited, so it's ready to go probably next week. You just learn as you can and as the time gives you, and you'll get better and better the more you soak in and the more you learn and the more you practice. So that's the beauty of this, is that you just keep absorbing the content, you keep absorbing the lives and taking advantage of all the information, and you'll just get better and better as time goes on, and you'll learn with the time that you have, right? So it's all good. You're on the right path.
Yeah, learning is just very key in the market. I think investing in your education is probably the most important part, other than just guessing. So very, very important. So we're going to jump back into this chart here. So this is a bearish pendant or bearish flag. So this is a bearish pattern. What makes it bearish? It's going to be this flagpole right here. So there is a flagpole right in this area. And that's how you tell if it's a bearish pendant or a bullish pendant. So if, like, you see on X anybody going in like this, and they sit there and block out that tail, and they say a pendant's going to break up or down, it's a 50-50%. That's not true. That actually this has a higher probability of breaking to the downside because of this flagpole. So you want to make sure that you always look into the left. The left is going to tell you more. That's telling you the trend that we're in, and we're in a consolidation. So the main trend right now is still to the downside, and we're just in a consolidation period, just like this right here. We were in a consolidation period right here. Now we're in doing the same thing. We're in a new consolidation period, and we're just waiting for that break. Now, if it breaks up, okay, then we trade bullish. It goes against probabilities, which does happen. There are times that does happen. But again, you have to trade with the probabilities. You can't get what you want. You just trade what the chart gives you and what it tells you, and you react to the reactions whenever they do happen. So as of right now, we are still in this consolidation period. We're waiting for that break of it. We're kind of using that weekly EMA as our point of control area, basically, that we're bouncing on here. Now, how far might we go? There's two levels, two ways you can do this, as if we do break down. One, you can pull a measure move off the open close or the closed or the Y part right here, and that's this line right here I put. So I'm guessing about 75% fulls right around this area, which that about 30 bars, 36 bars or so. Okay. So in this area here, if we break down somewhere around this area, our first measure move is going to be right around 57,200. Now, our other one would be this right here, and that's your flagpole right here that we just took a measure move. So I always take it. I don't go from the very top. I look for, like, basically the breakdown level, which is about right here, and I take it from the breakdown level of that flag. Some people might go further a little bit, but I like giving myself a. If I go further, then it's going really deep here, and then my problem is it going to get filled? I want to make sure I can take profits. It goes a little bit lower. I'm fine with that because I'm going to make sure that all my take profit orders are filled by just going just a little bit shorter from, like, the main breakdown area, which was the bottom of this support right here is where I took it from. So it gives you a little bit less of a profits, but it gives you more guarantee that you're probably going to hit. But it gave a very big move down to $36,000, $37,000 as of right now while we're waiting for that. So that's from here to here.
Right. So which one of those is more appropriate in this situation? And how would you know which one to use?
I don't know which one to use. What I would use is the following stop loss.
Good, good. So that's another thing that we teach in the course, right?
Yes. So once you get up here, you just put your stop losses, and you just once it breaks down, bearishly retest, you have your entry, and then you just put your following stop losses in if you're shorting it. And once those hits and it kind of confirms, you use signals. Say this level hits, you build support on here. We start building a bullish type of pattern here. Or if the higher game, if it takes 30 days to do that, then the bottom, that might be the bottom. So you also have to kind of think about that as well too. So if it takes that long of a period of time, you would have to sit there and think, okay, this took out this long here, and that's off of our time analysis that we did in the previous videos. That might be getting close time-wise where our bottom's at. So that's the two ways I would look at how doing it.
Right. And there is a lot of confluence on that time frame that we had. One of them was after the 3-day death cross. The counter is on. We did get that. And within 30 to 40 days, historically, Bitcoin has bottomed, right? Like Bitcoin has found its pretty much bottom price from that point on. Also, we have another point of confluence, which is this bearish pendant that when 75% full at the breakout there, that would be right around, the end of this month or toward the ending weeks of this month. So we have a lot of confluence to tell us that maybe we could get the move to the downside if this breaks to the downside toward the end of the month.
Yep, exactly. So we're going to go into another chart here. Let me see here. No, so this chart here, we're gonna do this, go over this one in group after the in group once we're done with the YouTube live here. And this has a lot more stuff, information with 3-day charts. So you guys definitely want to tune in for that one here. But we're gonna go into a altcoin setup next. I don't want to go into much more here. We're gonna be getting more in the line here. But there's a really cool levels up here, and we're gonna sit there and do a little price matching to the 3-day chart here in group live as well too. So next we're gonna look at that gold and Bitcoin ratio. So right here is what she was talking about. So right here, if you look at the 1 day, this is 1 day. Let me go back to 1 week here, make this a little bit smaller.
So this is the gold versus Bitcoin chart.
Yeah, so the top one up here is the Bitcoin chart, and the bottom one here is gold. And you can kind of see how, like, right now we're in some sort of pattern that could break to the upside on here, and it kind of looks very similar to gold. And now if you kind of look at it, now the only bad thing is here I see rising wedge as well too. That's the one bad thing. Whenever it's also a good thing whenever you start seeing patterns both ways. You're like, all right, is this a rising wedge or is this a flat top? But right here on Bitcoin or on gold, it was definitely a flat top and it broke up to the upside. But when we kind of look at it right now, we're kind of looks like we're getting to like a peak here while Bitcoin's bottoming. So what everybody's basically thinking is gold money going to roll over into Bitcoin while it's on this high time frame support right here with this wedge right here. So that right here, if we are like maybe one more little push down to hit this, and we're looking at like 58,000 or so, and that lines up with the weekly SMA 200. So we have a very time like this trend line might be our bottom as well too. Now, the only bad thing about this trend line, I can sit there and add in on that one there, it is made on the log scale. So if you're using log scale, you can make this trend line. But if you're not using log scale, you can't make this trend line. The trend line actually goes way lower. And whenever I did that, so I was going back and forth on that one there a little bit, and that you can see how that changes it right there by a lot. And if I go to do that, the price goes right to, you'll say right around maybe 40,000, which is what people were kind of calling for, which I'm not even.
But that's really interesting because it does sort of line up with the two measured moves we got from the breakout of that pattern, right? So the smaller, just the width of that bearish pendant was around 57,000, and then the bigger, longer one is like into the late 30s or early 40s. So that's actually another confluence.
Yeah, and that's something that's very interesting. So it's like one of the measure move that the bad measure move or the big measure move that we looked at, the flagpole lines up with this trend line, and then the smaller measure move lines up with the other trend line that we had on here. So it just depends on how you make which one you go with. Me, I don't sit there. I'm not going to sit there and say one's better than the other. I'm going to say be prepared for both. That's why they have stop losses. They have things ready, and that's stop loss. Yeah, it's just be prepared. I think knowledge, the more information you have, the better, and just be ready to react to whatever the market gives you. So
Right.
that's basically my thing.
All right. So now you guys have both scenarios to the downside. Now, don't forget, we are going to go over another scenario that Bitcoin hits a few key certain levels to the upside in group right now, in the private group. But these are the downside targets if we just break down from there. So I think we have one more altcoin chart to go over. This is what we're going to go over, okay, in group.
We're going to go over this group. And we're also going to go over the weekly and bi-weekly Stosh RSI, which is pinned at the bottom. So that's also something that's very big right now to be keeping an eye on. And we're going to be going over why you want to keep an eye on that and what you want to be looking for in that as well, too.
Right. So those are really juicy pieces of information. I saw this earlier with Rob and I was shocked. Okay. Like you definitely are going to want to like see this information in this chart. So as I'm speaking, you guys got to sign up for the group in the link below. And we're going to wait a few minutes before we continue the live in group to show you these charts, but not a lot of minutes. So just make sure you start doing that now. Okay. And before we do transition, let's go ahead and give them that altcoin setup.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you guys a long setup because I believe we might go up and touch a certain resistance. And if that is so, we might have a good long play here. Now, what we're looking for right now, we already have this set up in group, of course. We're looking for this support to basically confirm on it. Our stops are at break even. We're already in this trade, but our stops are break even. Actually, slight profits as of right now because we went up enough. We were up about 30% with 10x leverage, 3%. And we're looking to see if this fair value gap holds that we're in with the 4-hour SMA or 4 hour. Oh, sorry. That was a 6-hour S9. So we're kind of getting rejected off the 4 hours S9, but we're looking to see if this fair value gaps or this fair value gap and bullish order block gets hold. If not, we get stopped out for little slight profits, and we're going to look for a deeper retracement and be looking to get in down here, and hopefully we get a good run up to the about this high right here. It's been trending a lot. It has some really good FA TAO, and it's really strong. Not very much volume right now, so we're trying to front on the volume. We're trying to get in a higher low here. So this is the scenario if we do go up to a certain level that we're going to explain in group on the 3-day chart. If we do get that entry before we have the big fall here, so we're going to give you that setup here. So we're looking at a scaling range anywhere from between now down to 163. So we want, and then underneath there, you want to have that's the previous week low. So if you want to find last week's low is at 163, your stop should be in there if you're scaling in, or you could zoom into scaling as well too. And we go over that and how to do that in group as well. We're going to be going over in group and how to do that as well too. How to zoom in to nail your entry. That's also going to be in the trade as well. So very, very big thing. Zooming into nail entry. So if you're using higher leverage, you don't want to scale in on this bigger range, because if you're higher leverage, you might get liquidated. You got to zoom into a smaller time frame, like 15-minute, 30-minute chart to nail your entry. Like right now, you wouldn't take entry on a small time frame because it looks like it's actually going to become lower. And we're going to get lower entries on it, which is awesome. So it's going to give you guys time to get prepared to potentially get a good entry on this, good risk management. And if it goes underneath that one level and gets stopped out here, your loss is very minimal. You can make it up very fast and easy. That's always the goal. Keep those losses small and those wings big.
That's right. That's right. So this is a juicy setup. It was at one point deemed the blue chip of the AI coin. So whether or not that is a very strong fundamental coin. And I know a lot of people that are working on this, and I've talked to them many times, and it's a very good project. So this could have a strong pump, but like this is what you're going to keep a look out for. This is one of the setups that we're giving you now, but in group, we're giving you many more setups right now as we jump over there and transition over there. Should we show them a few of the wins, Rob, that we've had in the last couple of days?
Let's go ahead and try that. Yeah. So, one thing. So whenever you do get in the group, go into the announcements channel. It's called the Hive announcements channel. And there's this little blue, it says video chat. You want to click on that right there in order to enter the live video in the group as well too. And everything we do on there is recorded and also posted in group as well too. So I also want to go over that. So like this morning, we had a live update on the market right here. Last night, we had a live market update. And then over the weekend, we had some live market updates. So we're doing live market updates in group as well too. Whenever things get a little bit more spicy, we'll be having live setups as well too. So instead of just posting a chart, so like right now, I'm just posting charts because not really much going on right now. But as you can see, we're up 33% on TAO right there. And we took a little small loss on Ondu, which I said, hey, got stopped out, 3% loss. My loss is already made up. My losses are in enough profit right now. We also made up in other areas. But eventually here, once the market's a little bit more hot, I'll be doing live videos as well too on how to enter the trade and exit the trade yourself as well too. So it's not just a chart on there. You have a video that explains it. We do that when the market's a little bit more warm as well too. So
right.
let's go ahead.
So in the private lives, Rob will go over, just exactly how you would want to get in, things you want to look out for, when you would want to get out. We really go into depth at how to teach you how to get in and out of the trade and guide you through the trade. Sometimes we do some live trading right there, then and there on the show, guys, taking positions as we see them. So you're not going to want to miss that in real time, but it is recorded if you do miss it.
Yep. So right here, somebody got some GPS shorts in there. We had ARB short. This was actually, it wasn't so whenever I was doing a live market update, this was one that I was actually talking about in a live market update. I never even got to post the chart on it, but it was a rising trend line that we were getting up to higher highs. That's how I got the entry in on this one here. So I do give ideas all the time for other people to take it because I can't baby walk everybody through, but I do like giving ideas at multiple times here. So we had hype as well too. We've been trying to nail the top of hype. We got it up there a couple times, but it just keeps on going back up. So it's still consolidating for our break to go down and to the, I want to call it the support zone. So ARB short we nailed as well too. I think that was one of those ones that we've been watching in group. We've gone over a couple of lives in our market updates as well too. SEI short we had in group as well too. APT, I don't remember posting that one. Maybe I did post it at one point. OP short, we know we had that one in there. A couple of us got OP short as well too. I remember posting that. I think we're still in OP short as well too. So that is also a chart that we have in group as right now. We got to one take profit on it. I think we had stops and profit. We got stopped out. I think we got back in because I had I'll just go ahead and give you guys one quick one that's already posted in group. So let's go ahead. So yeah, OP, we are looking for. So we were down here, we had stops and profit, and we were saying, hey, we may come back up here and do this bearish change of character. I know we got back up in there because I know I have a better entry now on my short. I got stopped out with some light profits on it, and I got to enter with more capital. So this is one short that is playing out that is already posted in group as well too. So there's just all kinds of nice trades going on here. And you see, yeah, we got that. This was a D. So our original setup was up in here. And this was our scaling zone right here. So we said scaling zone. We're scaling all the way up to here. And when everything pumped, everything got filled up. And as you can see right there, our stop loss never got hit. We got in there, and I got to put my stops up in profits, and we came back up and got in a better entry again with profits. So sometimes it takes a little bit of time and patience for a trade to play out. But the more times you get stopped out in profit, the more profits you have to trade with, in my opinion. I do that multiple times.
Yeah, and trading is just about managing your risk, guys. You will have some small losses here and there, but you'll more than make up for them with the wins. If you follow the strategies and you're in the group and you get the setups. Right. So that's just it. So I think that's it. Right, Rob? Should we transition now over to the Hive?
Yes.
Okay. So for those of you watching who don't know what's going on, just last reminder about this. We are now going to give the top altcoin setups that Rob has prepared, plus explanations on how to get in and out and all that in our private group. It is free. The link's in the description below. Sign up to BYDFI. Put your user ID in there. If you have any trouble, just DM us on Telegram and we'll get you in. It's still free. You get a $100 bonus for signing up for any deposit. So you've got to get in there, guys. And we will see you there now in about 5 minutes in the Hive. And we'll continue with our altcoin setups. So thank you all for tuning in today. And we will see you tomorrow.